Hi, it's David here, CEO and founder of the Freedom Founders Mastermind community. I'm going to talk to you about change today. People don't like change. Change is difficult for everybody. Change has been difficult for me in my life because we all want what? We want consistency. We want routine. We want safety. We want security. It just feels better to be able to stay on the same path that we grew up on, the same beliefs, the same mindset. As long as we work hard and do the right thing, then we should live a great life. And I wish it was that way. But change is imminent everywhere. In fact, I think beyond change, which is usually linear, it can be upsetting, it can be dramatic, but I think through change or greater adversity comes greater opportunity, and that leads to transformation. But to wrap one's head around change, or better yet, transformation, a change in the pathway, a change in the beliefs, a change in the ideals of what can give people the real life they're looking for. And I'm talking about freedom. I'm not talking about all the money in the world. I'm not talking about materialism. Have what you want of that. But to get there, whatever there is to you, however you define success in your own life, you've got to go against the stream. You've got to go against the grain. You've got to be willing to be contrarian and make up your own mind and own decision. And that's not easy to do, where again, safety is always in numbers. Safety is hanging around with the group, with the herd, with what everybody else says to do, because you feel like, well, at least I'm doing what everybody else is doing. No one's going to point me out and laugh at me. And, if it doesn't work out, then I'm still with everybody else. But that's not who you are. I know I'm speaking to you because you're an entrepreneur. You had to achieve in life to get to where you are. You had to get through certain barriers to get to the next, your education, your degrees, your licensure. Everything you've done in life so far speaks to being more of a risk taker than a non-risk taker. Yet, when it comes to going against the grain and saying, I want to put plant a flag in terms of what I want in freedom in life, how I see it in my life, people are afraid, drastically afraid. Why? Because I might upset the apple cart, because it might not work. To really embellish and embrace change, you've got to be with other people who also do the same thing. Not being risky, not being cavalier about life. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people who look at life differently and take action based on a different belief system than most of us were brought forth, in our lives through the formal education and well-meaning people who wanted to see us do well, but they were also using old beliefs. I recently put a post out on one of the dental forums, and I talked about the fact that if people are still grinding at whatever they do after 10 years, they're doing it wrong. And I firmly believe that. What I'm not saying is you shouldn't be willing to step up and do work. Work is good. Work is satisfying. People say, well, why do you work so hard yourself, David? I love what I do. To me, it's not work. It's not a grind. Now, I had to grind during different times in my life to get to where I am. I had to grind early in life just to pay bills and pay student loan debt and start a business. Yes, I had to put in long hours. To learn about real estate investing, I had to invest time and hours in doing that. But I didn't do it my whole life. Once I got the foundation, I continued to learn and elevate my beliefs, my collaboration with other people, my network, and I could build from there and use the compound effect, which is making typically small decisions and acting on those over a period of time. And the compound effect really hits what I call inflection points, which means instead of just linear, very slow progression, you can hit these pops in your freedom or your compounding of wealth or your cash flow or your business or whatever it is you're designing to do. You can hit those, but you've got to put yourself in an environment where other people think the same way. If you hang out with people, and again, I'm not judging the people you hang out with or your colleagues or your social group, they can be great people, but are they living a life that you want to live? Are those great clinicians and technicians that do great work, but are they really living the life that you'd like to live? That's what you've got to look at. And again, this is not judging other people and saying they're bad, wrong, stupid, ignorant. No, everybody should have the right to live their own life, but if you're not going forward and making decisions based on what is right for you and thinking outside that box, that proverbial box that people talk about, you've got to go outside that and have the ability to go forth on your own path. I was fortunate to find people in my life very early that catapulted me to that kind of thinking and inspired me. And as a result of that, I've lived a very good life. Yes, times of stress, times of adversity, no question about it. But going through those times, my mindset was different. And I came out on the other side every time a better person, a better father, a better leader, a better business owner, a better investor every time I elevated by that inflection point, not just a linear gain. If that's what you're looking for, I invite you to put yourself in an environment with other people who are doing the same thing, because that, my friends, is what's going to move the needle faster for you than anything else. It's your freedom. You've got to stay on it. Take care.